Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
I had a whole bunch of people send me this story, including Mike and Caleb, two good friends of mine. And this is one of those not so bright criminals. Allegedly, a man accused of shoplifting at a Walmart during a holiday event entitled Shop with a Cop. Now, I'm convinced I'd seen this story before, but this one is new. And so I think this event has been held before. And somebody may have been arrested in the previous one also. But this one is out of Virginia. An alleged criminal chose the wrong time to shoplift at a Walmart in Virginia. Now, there's never a good time to shoplift. I'm not trying to encourage that in any way, shape, or form, but that's the way the story is written. And according to police in Chesterfield County, a man was arrested for shoplifting at a Walmart store during a Shop with a Cop shopping event. The annual event pairs local officers with families in need to help them buy holiday gifts for their children. And this is one of those things that it's a feel-good thing. And if you got police officers that are willing to do this, and you've got families that need help, this is a great way to build some trust in the community. And I think I've told other stories before, but any time you interact with a police officer, if you have, I have in my life a couple times at the side of the road in a car, and once or twice where I was walking along when I was a little kid, for instance. And what's weird is I've told the story before where I was riding my bicycle to the local store about 3 blocks from my house, and I got hassled by a cop. Hadn't done anything wrong. The cop pulled his car over and called us, me and my friends, over to his car and started berating us because we didn't have licenses on our bicycles. And the licenses weren't required by law, they were recommended. And it was thinking was you put this license on your bicycle and if your bike got stolen, they could return the bike to you. But of course, my bike didn't get stolen, and like I said, it wasn't required by law. And the cop was actually lecturing us like we were idiots and implying that he might go to our house and talk to our parents because, you guys are doing this wrong. And I understand that that's not the worst thing a police officer's ever done. But I'm letting you know that I remember that more than 50 years later. It happened more than 50 years ago. I could take you to the spot where it happened and say it happened right here. I can tell you which way we're going on the sidewalk because we're going to the store. I can tell you who's with me, what color their bikes were. I mean, I'm not making this up. That's the kind of thing that some people don't understand, is that a lot of people who are taught, I was taught at a very young age, to respect the police officers. I was told that by teachers. I was told about my parents. My parents are the kind of people who are like, hey, police officer tells you to do something or you see a police officer, you respect them. Okay. And then I get hassled by the fuzz at the roadside on a bicycle. And here I am 50 years later. I remember it vividly. So if they can do stuff to polish the image a little bit, that's great. That's great. So I'm all in favor of the Shop with a Cop holiday event, okay? But recently, the Walmart store was packed with people, all there for the Shop with a Cop event, and included more than 50 uniformed officers at the store. So when the police show up, they're wearing the uniforms. And there were more than 50 of them in the store. This year, we added a little flair to it, said the lieutenant in charge of this. He was from the Chesterfield County Police. That flair came when a Walmart employee approached officers at the store and said there was a shoplifting event in progress. So the shoplifting event wasn't the same as the Shop with a Cop event, but apparently they had a scheduling conflict. Multiple officers who were at the store for the shopping event went looking for the suspect. As we approached from different directions, he tried to escape out the back of the store where he was apprehended. Now, I've watched a lot of police chase videos on YouTube. Many of them end with somebody bailing out of a car and running. I'm talking about chases that started in cars, obviously. And I've seen police officers running, and they're wearing their work shoes, and they've got all their kit on, as they say, and just jangle as they're running, and the body camera's doing this. But quite often they can chase someone down despite all that handicapping going on there. So as we approached from different directions, he tried to escape out the back of the store where he was apprehended. Police identified the suspect as a 32-year-old Officers learned he was wanted for failure to appear in another shoplifting case. He does have other open cases in Chesterfield as well for larceny. He was charged with felony grand larceny for the shop with a cop incident. Police say the collection of items he was attempting to steal was valued at nearly $1,400. $1,400. I'm not sure what he was trying to steal. Also, I'm always curious to know if they try to run with what they stole or not. I've seen people try both. But of course, if you got a lot of stuff and it's loose, you might not be able to run with it and get a successful escape under your belt. But that is a hilarious thing. Now, it makes you wonder. It's possible that the guy walked into the store and he's planning on potentially lifting a few things. And he looks around and he sees all these cops. He might have thought, hey, you know something? It's the last thing they'll suspect is someone trying to shoplift right now. Right? Who would suspect that? It's the last thing they're looking for. But remember, the cops show up, they're there, but like the store security people didn't go home. They're still there also. Now, there might be more people to watch because of the cops and the families being there. But then again, adding 100 people into a Walmart isn't going to necessarily make that big of a difference, depending on what night of the week it is. But, yeah, really do wonder if the guy didn't notice all the cops, didn't care about all the cops, or if he actually thought about it and said, either they won't notice me because they're busy dealing with their families, or I'm just so desperate to steal what I'm going to steal today that I'm going to try this and get away with it. But I've seen so many times, because I've also watched these on YouTube as well, where the police get called to a store like a Target or a Walmart, a big store like that. And so the police officer parks his car in the lot, goes walking inside, goes to wherever the offices are, and there's usually somebody there in charge of, theft prevention. And there'll be a bank of monitors, and that person will obviously say, good morning, officer. Notice this person right here. They've been loading up their cart with stuff. We've been seeing them do all kinds of stuff that's shady, including taking some objects, putting them inside other objects so that they can sneak them out of the store or scan one thing but get two. And so continue watching the person. And they'll continue watching the person. And then when the person goes out of the store, then they'll go out and apprehend him. But I've seen it before where the police get called to the scene and the person inside in charge of, inventory, theft protection, comes out and goes, okay, the person just left and can describe the car and all that, but the police didn't get there in time. So the downside of trying to steal during the shop of the cop event is there are 50 police officers on scene and scattered about the store. I know I'm preaching to the choir on this. I know it's terribly obvious, but I am curious. If you have an idea that I've missed, what's going on here? Because there's no way the guy walks into a store. There are more than 50 uniformed police officers in the store. And he thinks to himself, I'm going to go steal some stuff. $1,400 worth of stuff. While he's got an outstanding warrant. And that's the other problem. Because the outstanding warrant, it says here he's wanted for failure to appear, but I suspect that's an outstanding warrant. That is another reason that he should be leery of any police officer he sees. Because of the fact that he didn't show up someplace he's supposed to show up. That means they probably issued a warrant for his arrest. He probably knows that. So I suspect there's somebody here who's really, really desperate for money if these allegations prove true. I can't imagine any other logical explanation for somebody doing this non-smart. So Mike and Caleb, thanks for sending it from WTVR out of Chesterfield County. The story is, man accused of shoplifting during a shop with a cop holiday event at Walmart. Questions, comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. The question is not what you look at, but what you see.